Hello, good day and welcome. I'm Timotab and hopefully today I am going to solve a Sudoku. The Sudoku I've chosen is called Excess by James Sinclair. James puts out a weekly newsletter which includes at least 3 free Sudokus, and for a small subscription fee you can get access to additional puzzles as well. They're always very good and I really enjoy solving them. This one, as I said, is called Excess. And let's have a quick look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, every column, and every row, we must have the digits 1 to 9 once each. German whispers. Along green lines, digits must differ from their neighbours by at least 5. So if this were a 3, this would have to be an 8 or a 9 to be at least 5 from it. Killer cages. The sum of the digits inside each cage is equal to the small number in the top left corner. So those 2 digits must sum to 14. Those 2 digits must sum to 4. Digits in cells separated by a V sum to 5. Well, V is the Roman numeral for 5, so that's easy to remember. And digits in cells separated by an X sum to 10. And again, X is the Roman numeral for 10. So easy to remember. I am going to restart the timer. And let's begin. Okay, some things about German whispers. First of all, you can't put a 5 on a German whisper. If you did have a 5, the next digit would have to be either a 0 or less, or a 10 or more, which aren't valid Sudoku digits. So no 5s on a German whisper line. Then, it's useful to note that you must alternate between digits below 5 and digits above 5. If I put as low as a 1 on here, then the next digit would have to be at least 5 away, which would make it at least a 6. It could be 7, 8 or 9. So I'm going to be alternating between a high digit and a low digit and a high digit and a low digit, or vice versa. Don't know which is which yet. Also useful to note that a V has 2 low digits on it, because they can only be from the digits 1 through 4. And an X will have a low digit and a high digit either side of it, so that they can sum to 10. Interesting to note, you also cannot put a 5 on an X or a V. All right, let's have a look. I think that makes this column a little bit interesting to start with. All of those cells have X's or V's on them, so they can't be 5s. That can't be a 5 because it's a German whisper, so this must be a 5. And I think we get the same in the top row. Yes, we do. So they all have X's and V's on. That's a German whisper. And so that is a 5. Okay, this 4 can only be made up of 1 and 3. And they are both low digits. And what I'm actually going to do is colour all of my low digits, because that'll make them easier to see. And 9 is a nice cold... 9 is the number I press to make things blue when I'm in the color mode. So blue is a nice cold color, and then we make the hot or the high digits, they are going to be orange because it's a nice warm color. Okay, well, this column is interesting because we now have 3 low digits here. One of those 2 must be a low digit. Don't know which one yet, but that gives me all of my low digits for the column. I also have the 5 in the column already, so this must be a high digit. That is useful because that allows me to colour the entire line as highs and lows. There we go. And this digit is high, but it has to have 4 digits that are different from each other because they're all in the same box, that are low, that can go next to it. And the only digit that can do that is a 9. So let's put that in. Okay, let's fill in some of these numbers. This can be a 7 or a 9. This must be a 2 or a 4. This must be a 6 or an 8. In order to add to 12, well, I can't have 2 6s, so that must be an 8 with a 4. And now I can go back down the line and fill this column in. That's low, and that is a high digit and is a 6. And then this must be a 7 because it's the last remaining digit in the column. Okay, over here I think, yes, it's a low digit, but it can't be a 1 or a 2 because that would require this digit to be an 11 or a 10, which it cannot be. So this is 3 or 4, which makes this a 1 or a 2. That makes this a 9 or an 8. That makes this a 6 or a 5. Well, it can't be a 5, so that must be a 6 to go with the 8. And then we can do a 2 and a 3, which makes this 9, and makes that 1, and makes that 4. Let's colour those low and colour those high. This is the last remaining high digit in the box, so that is an 8. In order to be next to a 7, this low digit must be 1 or a 2, but we already have a 1 in the box, so that is a 2. Let's try down on this row. Oh yeah, we have the same situation here. This has to be a 3 or a 4, which makes this a 1 or a 2. That makes this an 8 or a 9. Oh, actually I've got a 2 in the column. So that's a 1, so that's a 9, 3, 7, 4, 8, 2, and 6. And that gives me a 1 there. So that's a 2 and a 3 are both low. 7 and the 8 are both high. Okay, so it feels like filling out this last border column would be a good plan. That can't be a 3 because it would make this a 3, and that's not valid by Sudoku. And it can't be a 1 because that would make this a 5, and I already have a 5 in the column. So that makes this a 2 and a 4, which makes that a 2 and a 4. And in fact, I've already got a 4 in the box. So that becomes a 2. That becomes a 4. 9, 3, 7. And therefore that is a 8. And let's do some colouring. Alright, this must be a 9 as it's the last remaining high digit. I have a 4 and a 5 to fill in the box, but I already have a 4 in the column, so that becomes a 5, and that's a 4, and is low. Let's have a look. Okay, those can't be 3s because of the column, those can't be 3s because of the row, so this must be the 3, and these are 7s. That can't be a 4 because it sees 1 in the column, that can't be a 4 because it sees 1 in the row, so that's a 4, and that's a 1-2 pair, which I don't think I can resolve just yet. Okay, so those can't be 7, so that's a 7, and that leaves me with 1, 3, and 9. Well, those can't be 9s, so that's a 9. Ooh. That makes that a 1-3 pair. This box needs a 3 and a 5. That can't be a 3 by the column, so that's a 5. That's a 3. which resolves these ones. And then I get a 5 and a 6 in this row, which I cannot resolve just yet. And that gives me 1, 4, and, well, I can place the 4. 1, 4, and 9. There's the 9. There's the 1. Which resolves the 1 and the 2 in the center. Okay. What am I missing from this column? I need a 2 and a 5. So the 2 is there. And there's the 5. And that gives me 1, 2, 3 must be there. 6 and 8. Okay. It's looking good. So in this box, 5 must be in one of those two. So that's a 6. And that's a 5. What do I need for this row? Actually, 9s. I can place a 9 here. Is that the last 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, that's all my 9s. Right, 8 can't go here or here or here, so that's an 8. 6 can't go here or here, so that's a 6. And those are both high digits. I need one more high in this row, which must be a 7, which must go there. And then this must then be a 4. So I get a 1 here, and a 5 and a 6, which is 6 and 5, which means this is a 7, and that's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 and 8 go there, and 2 and 4 can be placed. 2 and 4. Those are low, those are high. So I need a 2 in this row, which goes there. And that now must be a 5. And I need a 3, which goes here, and that's an 8, which resolves my 6 and 8 here. And then that's a 7, and finally that is a 6. Okay, and that is the solution to the puzzle. I did love it. And yeah, that's the end of this solution video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And it feels good to be done with my first video, and hopefully there will be some more. If you liked it, please give it a like, give it a subscribe, and yeah, I will hopefully have a new video out sometime soon. Not quite sure how often I'm going to do them yet, but I quite enjoyed this. So please excuse my stammering and such. As I said, it's the first time I'm doing this, and I'm sure I will ease into it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment and let me know. Thanks. Bye-bye.